Hello, besties. I hope you all are doing great. This is Sarah. She got pregnant 10 years ago while dating her current husband, James. And then the issue of marriage came up. Sarah wasn't working then, and she wasn't prepared for the marriage. But James, her husband, then said it doesn't matter, it's going to be fine because the future holds a lot for both of them. James and Sarah later got married, and James told Sarah that he doesn't want any court marriage, that he is okay with just a traditional wedding, so no court marriage, no white wedding. Sarah's parents tried talking to him to see reasons why it's good for them to do at least even if it's white wedding or court marriage. But James insisted that it's just going to be the traditional marriage. Sarah cried and begged her husband severally to legalize their marriage, but James stood his ground. Sarah had to involve James' family members to help her and beg her husband. The family said, "Oh no, it's fine. He is old enough to make his own decisions." Sarah wasn't happy and she got tired and gave up about the matter. She was hurt and broken, but resolved to marry him just like that to save herself and her family the shame of having a baby outside the wedlock. Sarah's dad was so angry and disappointed in James. He called James to remind him the importance of at least doing a court wedding, should in case something better happens tomorrow that will require them to leave the country. But James declined what his in-laws said. Well, Sarah's dad vowed that he is going to make sure that Sarah, her daughter, becomes successful despite what is happening, and is going to make her an independent woman with or without her husband. So, after Sarah gave birth to her baby, Sarah's dad helped her to secure a job in a multinational company, and things started to turn around for Sarah. She could now take care of herself and secure a future. Though Sarah married her husband, James, she never forgave her husband from her heart, and it made her not to buy or do anything in her husband's name. Currently, they have 4 kids together, but all her properties are in the name of her children. Sarah never used the name of her husband as her next of kin either. Just few months ago, the company she was working for decided to transfer her to a branch in Texas, and the company is willing to pay for her entire family to relocate with her to Texas. Sarah's husband's business is not doing too well, and he's also willing to relocate with his wife and children. But the problem here now is that they have no legal certificate to show that they are married. James is now telling his wife Sarah it's time for them to go to court and legalize their marriage so that they will have everything ready for their transfer and relocation. The problem here is Sarah said no, that she's not ready to do that because the time he wanted them to do this whole thing legally, the husband said no. Even his own family and her own family begged him, but he said no. Now, Sarah's dad is threatening to disown Sarah if she ever go to court with him, her husband. Sarah's husband has now been tagging Sarah everywhere as a bad wife who is not loyal to her husband, spoiling Sarah's family's name also, saying that Sarah's family are ungrateful people, that Sarah's family is trying to find a way to destroy their marriage. Sarah's in-laws have been calling her trying to persuade her, but she told them that she is old enough to make her own decisions and that she stands her ground just like her husband did to her 10 years ago. Wow, besties, this is an interesting story. From listening to this story, what advice would you give to this young mother of four? Well, for me, sharing my own thoughts, this is a great lesson. Sometimes we do things because we believe we have the authority to do that or the power to do that, forgetting what is going to happen tomorrow. I would also say if both of them love each other, they will try to settle. I know it's not really easy because this guy was, Sarah's husband was begged to do this that is going to benefit them tomorrow because nobody knows tomorrow. Some people say nobody knows tomorrow. I always say nobody knows now. Okay, they should just try and forgive each other. If they love each other, try to build their home And Sarah's husband try his possible best to make peace with his in-laws, because if he doesn't get that blessing, I don't think he's going to, follow Sarah to relocate. Since they've got family together and have kids together, I believe peace is the best advice here. Okay, nobody knows now. Thank you, besties, for listening, and I see you in my next video. Bye.